Sandra, thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm well. I have a friend who says, why should the lizard be worried about what the crocodile eats? Waiting concern you.
Well, the point is that the NPP, like any other political party, is a public entity. And by the virtue of their potential, and in this case, we are living it, to form a government, we must all be concerned at every point in time, whether they are in government or in opposition, when they are taking decisions. And clearly, I am quite excited about what is happening with the NPP, because for me, it draws attention to one principle. And the principle being that it is important that as political parties, we begin to pay attention to how best to choose our leaders in parliament. I do not think that the current structure as it exists, is satisfactory. I mean, many have abused it in the past and some will still abuse it now. But it is clear from the opposition that the NDC mounted when the leadership change happened, and the opposition that is being mounted by members of the MPP caucus this time around. It should be clear to anybody that there's a need for the party constitution to converge with the parliament standing orders so that we will not have these confusion. But like I said, that principle is clear in what these members are doing. But what may be different in most cases when we are talking about principles will be motives. I mean, principles don't change, but people can use the principles to achieve various motives. And in the case of Afenyo Markin, what I simply see is that the Ashanti cabal in their caucus don't seem very comfortable with him being made a leader. And that for me is surprising because, I mean, if you look at their front bench and their caucus for that matter, over the years, it is clear that Afenyo Markin has, paid his dues to the NPP and to the caucus in parliament. And so it comes to me as a surprise that a region that has been so endowed with very juicy appointments will be concerned that one of them is being replaced by someone from the central region, yes, with some ties from the Volta region. That is the motive I see behind this challenge that they are mounting. I do not see it so much of being the principle that members must have a say in choosing who leads them when it comes to the choice of leadership in parliament. But like I said, even if that principle is used as a ruse, for me, it draws attention to the need for the political parties to pay attention to that principle, because then it shows that it is a principle that is timeless and something that we must do something about. But like I said, principles are principles, but motives can drive the same principle differently.
How do you reckon, because you have a history as a party in this, how do you reckon the MPP can reconcile this division, which has become public now?
So in the case of the NPP, which I believe is driven by a very, forgive me, ethnic motive, it's going to be very difficult for them to deal with. Because if you know, there have been those undertones for some time now within the New Patriotic Party about how the Ashanti region feels, sidelined in the Nana Akufo-Addo government in terms of the opportunities that are extended to them and even development in their area. So it is going to be really difficult for them to deal with it. I think that I can only say that for both parties to deal with this situation once and for all, we'll need to align our various constitutions to the standing orders of the House and adopt a position that is workable for members and for the political parties as well.
But yours could have been described as ethnic too, that you had a northern minority leader being replaced with a central region person to be the minority leader. But you guys managed to, pick up the pieces and move on. Or is it the case that they're still grumbling at the minority front in relation to the changes, the sudden changes that were announced from Adabraka?
Not at all. I mean, and if you followed the discussion and you looked at the personalities that were involved in ours, it was not ethnic. It was not about where, which region got more and which region didn't get much and all of that. Because, I mean, you had one person from the north, you had one person from Ashanti region, and then you had another from Volta region. And these are all, if you like, the two northern region and Volta region are strongholds of the NDC. So there's really nothing to talk about when it comes to, be one being sidelined or the other. And these people were again replaced by people. I mean, the Volta region had a representative in there, and you also had the central region coming on board and all that. So it was, and the opposition was, look at the video. Look at the video of the members of parliament who stood to address the media. And you can see clearly that there is some sort of ethnic agenda today.
So this just a view, though, not born out of any specific fact. That they said that they are relying on the constitution, not on ethnicity. Just to set the records.
Well, but
on
then
this matter.
Optics matter. I mean, then that's why I'm saying that when you look at the people who spoke to the media, you cannot discount that desire by some people in the party, especially the Ashanti region, to want everything to go to them. I've heard some of them complain. I mean, some other minor tribes in the majority caucus, for example, complain about the number of big appointments that have gone to the Ashanti region, and yet they still are unsatisfied. I think that it is going to be unfair to Afenyo Markin if they do not, if they oppose him on those bases. I think he's paid his dues to the caucus.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Honorable Alassane Suhuyini. He's Tamale MP, Tamale North NDC.